Hello everybody, Professor Thompson here, and I've been receiving a number of emails with some different questions, and I thought that I would just put together a quick video and address some of the questions that I've received and some of the answers. One of the first things that I've gotten from several students is with regard to an error message that keeps coming up from the PRCA and the PRPSA self-assessment forms that I asked you to do during week one. I don't exactly know what's going on right now with those. I know that you can click a back arrow and then hit resubmit, and then it will say you've already submitted your answers, and then you can go down and hit see results here, click that to get your results. But I still can't figure out why it won't email them back to me. So for the time being, if you've done them, great, hold on to your results. If you haven't done them, just hold on for a little bit, and I'll see if I can resolve the issue before Monday when we meet for the first time, which is July 8th. So just kind of hold on for now. I'm not going to stress out about them if I do or do not have them by July 8th. So I do know there's an error. Just relax about it. I'm not going to be overly concerned. Okay, a couple other questions that have come up. One is about the first night of speeches. On the first night when we get together, those of you who are making a decision to come to class and give it face-to-face, you are expected to stay for the entire time, from 6 to 9 p.m. It is in that manner that we have a good audience for everyone who will be speaking for that particular evening. And it's not a come and go as you please type of thing. It's a 6 to 9. You give your speech, but you listen to the other people who are also speaking. In addition to that, you're also going to have a peer evaluation activity where you'll evaluate a couple of your fellow classmates while they give their speech in a written form. So I have a form that I'll give you. So again, it's not something where you kind of come and go. Before we actually start the before we start that first presentation, I'm going to have you do a little self-introduction. It's nothing more than, hey, here's who I am, here's where I'm from, kind of quick little activity. That way I can cross you off my roster. And that's really the self-introduction activity presentation type of thing. It's nothing serious. So just make sure that you are absolutely prepared and ready to go for your first presentation on that night, and that should be your major concern. The other question has to do with the first presentation, but it's really from someone who said that they'd like to submit the videos. Do remember that as part of the change of regulations from the state of Illinois, if you cannot come to class during one of the meetings, or if you would just not like to come to class out of convenience or distance or whatever it might be, you have that option. But you do have to have 8 people that you speak in front of that are a minimum of 16 years or older. And then you submit that video electronically. On the left-hand side of Blackboard, where all the tabs are for the course when you're in the speech class, the very, very bottom one says online video submission. And when you click on that one, it'll give you 3 different links, one for each speech. And you got to click the corresponding link, and it will give you an avenue to upload your video there if you're going to record them. You need to make sure that you submit an unedited video. So make sure that you turn the video camera on, you show me all the people, make sure that they're 16 years or older. I mean, don't get your 12-year-old sister or something. I'm not asking for IDs. There's no waiver that needs to be signed, so that people should legitimately look 16 years of age or older. And pan the audience so I can count the people, and then scroll or pan to you, and then give your presentation. The idea of the setting for the speech, according to the state of Illinois, is that you have some sort of venue that you give this at. The idea is that they don't really want you to give it in your dining room. So if you can do it in a church, you can do it in a classroom, You can do it in a conference room. Uh, I mean, a lot of you who work jobs, there might be a boardroom or a conference room that you could use there. If you're at home, maybe there's a community center. I live next to a community center where I could go in and just borrow a room. But the idea is that you're giving it somewhere outside of like your living room or outside of your kitchen. And I understand that sometimes that's a convenience issue, but I didn't make the regulations. It's something that, again, the state of Illinois passed down for me. I think it's a fairly reasonable request, and I don't think it would or should cause many people problems. So, something at least to think about. If you are going to submit your video, please make sure that you let me know so that I'm not expecting you in class and that I can look online for your video. For those of you who are going to show up to class to give your speech, I'll see you next Monday, which is July 8th, 6 to 9 p.m. in BIC, which is the Berg Instruction Center, room 3634. So make sure you're there. One other question I had to do about the book. The book, which is Communication Matters by Corey Floyd, is required textbook. It is not in the library. I repeat, it's not in the COD library. I do know that if you're looking to save yourself a few pennies, you can go directly to the McGraw-Hill website and purchase an electronic copy of the book, or you can purchase the Connect Plus directly from the publisher. By purchasing directly from the publisher, you're cutting out the markup from the COD bookstore or from another bookstore to which you might have purchased it. Just something that the publisher informed me of. I do apologize of the price of the textbook. There's a whole fiasco and a whole story behind that. Probably not something that I'm going to share over video, but if you ask me in person, I probably will tell you. But you do need to have that Connect Plus piece, because that Connect Plus piece gives you access to the quizzes, it gives you access to the modules that you need to complete, so it is imperative that you have it. Now, as far as the deadlines for the course, which was another set of questions that came in, the hard deadlines that you need to be aware of are the speeches. Those are not in any way will I compromise those dates. So you got to make sure that you're either submitting your video on those dates or before those dates. You can always do it before, or you're coming to class on those specific dates for the speeches. The modules and the quizzes need to be done, completed by July 30th. All I say to that, and I will repeat this in class, is sometimes life happens. And so it's important that you take care of what you need to take care of, whether it's family or your job. And if one week is rougher than the other, you pick up the slack the next week. In a 5-week course, it's coming at you fast and furious. So it is important that you don't fall off the wagon too far and that you're getting some things done. But those weekly tabs are more of a guideline to help you pace yourself to finish so that not one week is more overwhelming than the next. As I said in my first video, there is a possibility that I will be cutting some things from weeks 3, 4, and 5, but I won't make that decision until I see you during week 2. So again, I will refrain from anything else in comments with regard to that, but just I'll keep you posted. Okay, I think that is pretty much it for now. The speaking order will be determined on a first-come, first-served basis on the board as far as when we give our speeches in class face-to-face. I'll put a speaking order on the board, and then you just come up and sign up next to a number, and that's the way I do that, so as to avoid questions for that. There is a computer in the classroom with a projector system, so if you have a video that you would like to show as your visual aid, if you have PowerPoint as your visual aid, if you have pictures that you're going to want to show of some sort that you would pull up, those things are all available in the classroom to be able to show electronically. If you have other questions, please let me know. I may kind of wait 24 hours and post a video to respond to several questions at once, but I hope this at least clarifies a few things at this point for what we have going on. Everyone have a great afternoon, and I'll see you all very, very soon.